every time around the end of the year, my seasonal affective disorder, which is basically seasonal depression, just sort of kicks in. So I don't know why it is that it happens at this time, especially considering that my birthday is in November, but it happens. And you find that I'm depressed basically from October until February. That's generally when it happens. So last year was basically the worst because last year I tried to kill myself in November, and then I tried again in February. And February was the closest I came to succeeding.
I've been lost far too long. I can't see, I'm trapped in darkness.
Hey guys, I really don't want this to be a long episode, but welcome to the first episode of It's Normal. And what I'm about to do is I'm about to share my story pertaining to mental health. For those of you who remember last week, I posted a video stating that on Fridays we have It's Normal, where we discuss mental health, and so yeah, I'm gonna get straight into it and share with you my story, share with you my history with mental health, mental illness, and where I am now. So I'll get straight into it. So when I was 16, I say that's when I had my first. Sorry, I need to scratch my leg. When I was 16, that's when I had my first depressive episode, and to be quite honest with you, I didn't know what was going on. So from 16 to, I'd say, around 20, I didn't know what was going on with me. All I remember is day in, day out, I was just sad, like literally sad every day. And I had no reason to be sad, and I didn't understand what was going on with me. And on the one hand, much as I can wish that I understood what was happening with me back then, I'm actually grateful that I didn't, because of how everything has turned out. Everything's turned out really wonderfully for me, but I'll get to that later. But as I was saying, so there I am, 16 years old. I have my first depressive episode, and that's when I even ended up starting to cut myself. And for me, cutting myself was sort of a way to sort of try to divert the pain from whatever I was feeling inside to at least something on the outside. And it somewhat helped, but see, you're dealing with what's on the outside and not really dealing with what's on the inside. It's like dealing with, the dead leaves instead of dealing with the root of the problem, So, yeah, when I was in varsity, so that's from 2015? Yeah. So I started studying psychology. So as I was studying psychology, at some point, I was like, nah. I think it was when, I was looking into, so when we were learning about depression itself, and I was like, ugh, this sounds awfully familiar. I should probably go see a psychologist. So I went to go see a psychologist, and I got diagnosed with depression. This was in 2016, I think it is. Yeah, I got diagnosed with depression and ADHD. So in other words, I'm really sad a lot of the time and I can't focus. At least that's what my understanding was at the time. And then fast forward to, I think it was 2018, I'd like to say. Nope. Yeah, 2018. So fast forward to 2018, and I had my first suicide attempt. I don't remember what I did, but I did something. It was the first of 4, and it was pretty hectic. I will not lie. It was pretty hectic. But I had my first suicide attempt when I was, so how old was I? I was 20 something. But I had my, that's when I had my first suicide attempt. And after that, I started seeing a psychiatrist for the first time. And that is when I got diagnosed with bipolar instead of depression. So the depression was a misdiagnosis. And so moving from depression to bipolar basically means like, yeah, bipolar. So you're you're dealing with two poles. You're either manic, which is like super excited, doing crazy things. There's a whole manic phase to it, and then there's a whole depressed side where you're just really low and you're, down in the dumps. So that sort of explained who I am to me a bit more. That's when I first went on medication, like really went on medication for my illnesses. And to be honest, I didn't get better. If anything, I got worse. I had 3 more suicide attempts after that. And the last one, actually, no, two attempts ago, it actually happened in November. And what actually happens is every time around the end of the year, my seasonal affective disorder, which is basically seasonal depression, just sort of kicks in. So I don't know why it is that it happens at this time, especially considering that my birthday is in November, but it happens. And you find that I'm depressed basically from October until February. That's generally when it happens. So last year was basically the worst, because last year I tried to kill myself in November, and then I tried again in February, and February was the closest I came to succeeding. I'm very grateful that I didn't succeed, but yeah, it's the very closest I came to succeeding. So what happened is I took sleeping pills, a whole lot of sleeping pills. Actually, I remember I was even doing research on the whole thing, on like how many will it take, and then I took a lot. I was alone in my apartment, took all of those pills, and fortunately I got a video call from my aunt, and her younger sister came and picked me up and took me to hospital. And when I got to hospital, I don't know what happened, but what I do know is I woke up sometime in the middle of the night leading into the morning. This sort of happened around late afternoon on a Saturday, and then on Sunday is when I woke up like early morning. And I think until this point, I don't know, like I can't say I really knew what was going on with me until that point. I knew I had bipolar, but I still really didn't understand, and I was still sort of ashamed about it as well. It was actually the second time I'd been to hospital, but then this time it was really serious. My parents even drove all the way to Joburg, and it was crazy. I was very nervous to see them the next day, but they came through. I saw them, and I remember when they arrived, my dad did something very special, which sort of leads to why I titled this It's Normal, why the name of this show is It's Normal. He got there and he normalized everything. He pretended as if everything is fine, cracked a joke, and him walking in and cracking a joke just made everything normal, everything chilled, and everything was sort of fine, even though we know what was going on, but it just sort of eased everything from me. I don't know if it would do the same for somebody else, but I'm just saying that was such a special thing that he did. And then we sort of had a normal conversation in between me seeing a psychologist and then seeing a psychiatrist. And then my psychiatrist suggested that I go and get hospitalized again. So I got hospitalized again. This time both times I was there for 3 weeks. And, the second experience in hospital was incredible, because I was surrounded by people who all have different, issues that they're dealing with, different characters, different issues, different mental illnesses, but it was sort of normal, Normalizing it like that was sort of like an amplified version of what my dad did when he walked in when I was in hospital. And that really sort of cemented the fact that, dude, like that 3-week experience sort of cemented the fact that, dude, this is normal. and you can actually conquer this, you can get through this. And while I was in hospital this time, I was also diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and that fully explained everything. Like, for me, that really explained everything. But coming out, obviously, this is now February 2020, so coming out is sort of like a month, 2 months in, and boom, lockdown. Much as lockdown was really hectic for a lot of people, and people lost their jobs and everything, for some fortunate reason, with regards to me, it was a blessing for me, with regards to the fact that I really had I had no distractions. I had to focus on myself, which is what was encouraged while I was in hospital, you know? And so, coming out of hospital, not too long after, it's lockdown. And during lockdown, I really got to focus on myself. I really got to work on myself. And this year, I didn't have the depressive episode that I normally have at the end of the year. And the reason I wanted to do this channel, this part of the channel, is because I'm realizing that my journey took a very long time, and I think it's in me to want to help somebody else out there to, number one, know that it's a journey, know that it's ups and downs, but also get tools that'll help you out, help you walk this journey. Like I'm saying, at the beginning, I didn't know what was going on with me, and neither did my parents, neither did anybody around me. It's only about 5 years later that I came to learn what is going on. And not only that, it took even longer for me to get to a point where I'm comfortable sharing this, because obviously we all know that, you know, there's sort of this societal thing around mental health. But look, mental health, or rather mental illnesses, are normal. It's a normal thing. And not only is it normal, it is something that you can not only live with, but you can thrive with. And so I don't know who out there is going to be the one to benefit from this. It could be you, it could be somebody you know. But we're going to have guests on this show coming in, and I would want nothing more than for people to get to a point where they learn to live with mental illnesses, and they learn to live with people with mental illnesses. You know, it's such a beautiful thing. And I was fortunate because my parents are very understanding. They're very supportive with regards to that. But not everybody has that. And hopefully this can be the platform for that to happen. So if there's nothing else that, you know, could come out of this channel, the one thing I would want is for people to learn to live with mental illness and learn to live with people with mental illness. So yeah, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to, you know, go over like my story, what I've been through, and my journey continues. I still have my lows. I still get depressed, you know, and then I deal with it a lot better now, you know. Self-harm is something I haven't done in over a year now. Well, outside of the suicide attempt, of course. It's something I haven't done in over a year, the whole cutting myself thing. But beyond that, even, you know, attempting suicide ideation itself is not something I've had since I've come out of hospital. And a year ago, I would have never thought this was possible, but it is. It is, and it's possible to even be able to understand people who live with mental illnesses if you take the time to do so. And it is something that you could do for the people that you love. I can guarantee you there is nothing greater than having a mental illness which really affects your life negatively, and then having people who are around you and fully understand, or try to understand, and do their best to support you. Nothing is as beautiful as that. And so if this doesn't support you personally, I'm hoping that the content of this channel will help you support other people, because we do need support. We do need each other. And so yeah, I think that's the end of the video. Yep, I am done. Have yourself a wonderful day, and let's remember that this is normal. Please share this video and subscribe and comment. What else? And like. I'll see you guys on Monday, where we get back to doing better, where we unite to combat this pandemic that is gender-based violence. So until Monday, have yourself a wonderful day and cheers.